Hi guys, this is the Innovative Minds Tutor. Well, in this video, we are going to learn about differentiation grade 12. There are 5 rules that we are going to focus on. First rule, it's the derivative of a constant. Where k it's the constant, right? So that will be always be 0. So whenever you derive a constant, always equate it to 0. So in this case, we have f at x, which is equals to 5. So in this case, we are going to say the derivative, this will be 0, right? Okay. The derivative of a constant, it's always going to be 0. Do you understand? It's always going to be 0. Right. Let's go to our rule 2. Our rule 2 is what we call power rule. Right. We're given f of x, which is equals to x to the power of n. Then we're also given, we have to derive, in this case, n multiplied by x to the power of n minus 1. How are we going to do that? Let's put this into practice. Power rule. We have a coefficient here. So it's going to be, our coefficient is 1 multiplied by this power, right? 1 times 3 multiplied by x. Then you're going to subtract the power by 1. You're going to say 3 minus 1. What is 1 times 3? That's 3. And then what is 3 minus 1? That's 2. Meaning that the derivative of x cubed will be a quadratic, which is 3x squared in this case. So that's what we are going to work on, right? We call that power rule. Then the third rule, it's the derivative. Forgive me for my spelling there. It's the derivative of a function multiplied by a constant. It's denoted f of x is equals to k, where k is a constant, multiplied by the function, which is the g of x. So when you derive it, we're going to derive this f of x as well as g of x, right? Multiplied by the constant. So let's put that into practice. So remember, our constant multiplied by the function. What is 3 times 4? We're going to say 3 times 4. 3 times 4, sorry for that, multiplied by x as well as 4 minus 1. So what is 3 times 4? 3 times 4, it's 12. What is 4 minus 1? That will be 3. So we have our solution as 2x cubed. Do you understand? That's what we are going to do at rule number 3. The derivative of function multiplied by a constant. I hope, guys, you are learning. Hope you're learning. So, let's go to our sum rule. Our sum rule, we're given different types of function. F of x is equals to g of x, which is equals to plus. That's plus, guys, right? I want you to see this clearly. It's plus h of x. So when you derive, you're going to derive f of x, g of x, as well as h of x, right? Then let's put that into practice. Remember, I'm still going to use this. It's the same. The power rule still applies here. 1 times 3, it's going to be 3. Put x here. 3 minus 1, that's going to be 2. Are you following? 1 times 3, it's going to be 3. 3 minus 1, it's 2. Then 2 times 2, it's 4. Then 2 minus 1, it's x. Right, so we are left with 3x squared. Right, we're still there, guys. Right, we're still there. We are still there. Right, remember that I said 1 times 3, it's 3. Then 3 minus 1, that's gonna be 2. X remains the same. 2 times 2, that's gonna be 4. 2 minus 1, that will be x. So let's go to the difference rule. So when it comes to the difference rule, remember that we're given f of x, which is equals to g of x minus h of x. You derive as well here. Derive f of x, derive h of x, derive h of x, right? So let's find the derivative. Derivative of f of x. 1 times 3, that's going to be 3. 3 minus 1, that's going to be 2. Now you can do it mentally, isn't it? If you can't do it mentally, it's advisable to reverse the video and watch it thoroughly, right, without being hasty, so that you understand what we are doing here. 2 times 2, that's gonna be 4. Then 2 minus 1, that's gonna be 1. So we're left with x. So our solution will be in this manner. That's how, guys, you can work out this. We can see there's nothing that we can do here because these are unlike terms. If they were like terms, we will continue further. right? There's nothing that we can do here. So in summary, we have learned about 5 rules of differentiation. So our next video will be based on typical exam questions for differentiation calculus, right? Grade 12. So it's very important to know the rules. Remember the first rule, the derivative of a constant is always going to be 0. Second rule, it's a power rule. Then the third rule will be the derivative of function multiplied by a constant, right? Then the fourth rule, it's a sum rule. Then the fifth rule, it's the difference rule. Right, thank you guys. See you on the next video. If you're new to this channel, what are you waiting for? Kindly subscribe. You only subscribe once, and remember, we love you.